Welcome to Old Folks Racing PS4, welcome to Le Mans with the Group C Jaguar, in a race that will last 24 minutes but will magically cover day and night. It will be amazing to watch. As you see on the screen currently, the championship standings: Kev Allen and Simon Allen, Diogo Silva, Andy Booth and Andy Bramall are your top 5. Now, qualifying for this race has seen an unusual grid with the Twixter, Chris Russell, on pole position, his first ever pole position in Old Folks Racing PS4, followed by Kev Allen, a returning Craig Lloyd, Simon Allen, Scott Davely, an excellent 5th, Darren Head, Frankie, and all the others. As we now look for the start, someone has jumped the start. I think the Twixter has jumped the start or not. We don't have any indication from race director that he has done so. But he has moved into the lead of the race. Chris Russell, followed by Kev Allen and Simon Allen. Now at the Dunlop chicane, someone is off already, and someone has... Oh, I think the Allens have crashed with one another. The Allens have crashed with one another. They did. The championship leaders have crashed. That was Simon trying to make a move on Kev, and it didn't work, did it? Because they are now dead last. They are 10th and 11th, so drama already on the first lap here at Le Mans. As Chris Russell continues to lead now into the Mulsanne Straight after Tertre Rouge. He is into the Mulsanne Straight, and what has happened to Chris Russell? Chris Russell, what was he doing? Craig Lloyd jumped into the lead. What was Chris doing? Was he stopping at the zebra crossing or what? Because he has completely stopped that Jaguar, and he has been when he runs wide, he runs straight actually in the first chicane, so he's going to lose more time. So more drama happening at the sharp end of the grid with Chris Russell, your pole position man, dropping now to 3rd. Darren Head has taken 2nd. Craig Lloyd is in the lead. Phil has moved up to 4th. That was a nice job by Phil, also benefiting from the Allens clashing with one another. Scott Davely is in 6th behind Stuart Brand, and here we are on board in the chase Camry with Scott Davely. Stuart Brand braking very late, out braking himself into the 2nd chicane. Scott is up to 5th and thinking about 4th as he's putting some pressure on Phil. This race, it will be 6 or 7 laps long, I can't remember, but we are already seeing a lot of action, and we are not even at the end of the first lap into the Mulsanne corner for the first time. Let's see how these Jags are going to stop in time or not for this corner. Scott out braking himself a little bit. Simon Allen is up to 7th. Kev is still stuck in 11th. Simon then doing a good job there, putting a move on Barry Evans for 7th. But he has again been involved in drama. Simon Allen, we've seen that in Oschersleben, where he basically lost the victory on the last lap, and here he comes on the outside going into Indianapolis. And he crashes. He crashes. Simon Allen has crashed into someone, which was Barry Evans. Barry Evans, who was in front of him, has now lost time. And that's the second incident in one lap that Simon has been involved in. He's under pressure and he's not responding too well. He really shouldn't have lost that victory in Oschersleben. That was a little bit of a silly mistake. He has been under pressure from the fans, under pressure from the French press as well, who have nicknamed him Simon Lagaffe, which means Simon the Mistake in French. So clearly not a good week for Simon Allen off the track, but also in the track already. He is in 6th, which is not that bad, but he should really be battling for the lead in this Jaguar, and he is going to have a hard time recovering from those incidents. Kev Allen is now up to 9th, but that's because Stuart Brand and Barry Evans have lost time in various other incidents. We are already on the 2nd lap, and Craig Lloyd continues to lead, making a very successful return to this Old Folks Racing PS4 Championship after a few rounds where he has been absent. Of course, he is the only driver that has finished 100% of the time in the top 5, and he also has the highest percentage of podiums, and here showing again that when he does turn up, he's normally at the sharp end of the grid, battling for victory, or at least battling for a podium, as we see now Kev Allen going into Terre Rouge and attacking Frankie's 7th position. So Kev also moving up slowly but surely back into the points and back into at least a place where he can defend his championship lead, going on the outside there in the Mulsanne straight. Let's see if he's got more speed than Frankie, and he does, and he brakes later than him, so nice job there. Move on the first chicane. It's not easy to stop these cars on time, and sometimes you end up just breaking yourself here at Le Mans. Of course, a circuit with very heavy braking points. The chicanes, the Mulsanne corner, also Indianapolis, so very heavy on the brakes here. Simon Allen, and this is a replay of something that has happened. No, this is a replay of the whole race. Sorry, I just got misled by that label there in the top left corner. Simon Allen is in 6th, Phil is in 5th. That's a good job there by Phil. He's not too far behind. Scott Davely has actually managed to go up into 4th place. Great job by Scott there, as Simon Allen having some difficulties stopping his Jaguar for the Mulsanne corner. Nice battle here for 4th between Scott Davely, Phil and Simon Allen. Kev Allen has moved up to 7th, so he should be joining this battle quite soon, as we already in this accelerated version of time we already see the sunset starting to appear here at Le Mans as this battle goes through the Indianapolis corner, which is this left-hander over here. We then go to the slowest corner in the entire Le Mans circuit. That's Arnage. Here is Simon Allen doing a good job there into Arnage, getting into a top 5 position. Nice move on Phil. Simon slowly but surely, and someone has their headlights on already. That's Simon Allen, but the others haven't put their headlights on. I don't know if this is automatic or if it's manual. It's probably manual, and of course the old folks have never raced at night. This is the first race that goes into the night, albeit in an accelerated version of time. Simon Allen doing a nice job there, illuminating the whole road for the drivers ahead. Now someone else, Scott Davely, has turned on his headlights as well. Phil is resisting. I wonder if the French police will want to have a word with him, because he's circulating on public roads with no headlights, as we are already in the early-ish evening here at La Sarthe in Le Mans. They stopped for the 4 chicane. The chicane built in 1968 to drop the speeds into the start-finish line. And someone adds Simon Allen. Who else? Simon Lagaffe has done it again. He has managed to get himself into an incident. He was doing a nice job there in 5th. Now he's back to 7th. He got also passed by Kev Allen, which is not great news for the championship, as someone has run wide at the Dunlop curve. That's Phil, who is still resisting putting on his headlights. I wonder how is he going to see anything. He must think that it's really difficult to drive at Le Mans at night, which it is for sure, but it's obviously much harder if you don't put your headlights on. And of course in real racing you would be warned by the race director that you need to put your headlights on, as he is running a lower downforce version of that Jag as well. No rear wing for Phil here. I wonder if that was the incident with Simon Allen. Of course damage is only visual in Old Folks Racing PS4. Otherwise we would have a lot more non-finishers in these races, and of course we don't want that. Scott Davely, excellent job so far, and I jinx it because he has spun in the first chicane. He hasn't lost a lot of time. No, he has actually lost a bit of time. Of course Scott here trying to be super fair with himself and with others, not using the reset button, or maybe he was too close to other cars, I don't know. A lot of controversy with the reset button after Darren had used it to his advantage in Oorgeklubben, appearing magically right into the pathway of Andy Bramall at the time. So drivers have been talking about using the reset button only when they cannot actually move their car by any other means. For example, if they are upside down, maybe that's a rule coming, I don't know. But what we know is that we are now well into the night, and Phil continues to resist putting on his headlights. Craig Lloyd here is your leader. We haven't seen too much of him. Normally we don't see too much of him in the races. That's because he normally runs very well, doesn't make mistakes, and is normally running at least in the top 3. And what a return would it be for Craig Lloyd to this series with yet another victory. He has had, I think, 6 victories in like 18 or so participations. I can't really remember what the number was, but it's not far from this, which is an amazing win rate. As he continues to lead. Now we are on lap 3. Darren Head, always a very strong podium finisher. Now in second place again. He did second place in Orchersleben. Also had a podium in Laguna Seca and another third in Orchersleben race 2. But this is not over yet, because Chris Russell, your pole position man, is actually not that far behind. He's only a couple of seconds behind Darren, so we can anticipate into the night a battle for second place, as they are now Stuart Brand in 10th place. Barry Evans is the only driver outside of the points. Stuart Brand there at Arnage as they continue to accelerate through the night here for the Porsche curves. Of course, it's a new experience for everyone to drive at night here at Le Mans, and what a great celebration of the 1990 Jag victory here at Le Mans. I'm sure some of the old folks remember that victory. Some of them actually might have been there at Le Mans to watch that famous victory for the English manufacturer at Le Mans in 1990. So nice celebration here. Basically 30 years on, what a great way to celebrate that victory, bringing the old folks here to Le Mans, all racing in the same livery, of course, which makes things more complicated to commentate, but here we go. At least there are some different numbers. There are 3 different numbers in 11 drivers, which means that at least some of the drivers have a different number, so we can kind of try to see what's going on. Here's Simon Allen. Simon has yo-yoed between like 9th and 5th. He's now in 6th, just behind Kev Allen, but not far behind. Even with all the incidents, I'm surprised how Simon is still in visual contact with Kev and Phil. Now Phil has managed finally to switch on his headlights. That's around 3 in the morning. As you see there, the sign on the public road, that's the Mulsanne Straight. Of course, in French, it's the Ligne Droite des Audières, which has nothing to do with Mulsanne, but I guess for the English that would be a bit too complicated to pronounce. So Mulsanne Straight is actually much easier. As we see now a move there. Move Kev Allen on Phil. So Kev into 4th place, Phil into 5th. Now starting to think about Simon Allen in 6th, as we are already in lap 4 with... as you can see, really there's no DRS as such, but of course this very long straight makes it easier to slipstream off one another. So Kev is still being pursued by Phil, who is using some of that slipstream to keep in touch. I suppose we are going to see the sunrise at some point in this track. Of course, when the actual Group C cars and the Group C Jaguar raced here in 1990. Did we have chicanes? Yes, we did. Because I think 1990 was actually the first year with the chicanes. Because this straight used to be just a straight. Very, very, very long straight with very, very high speeds. Almost 400 kilometers per hour. Which in miles an hour, I don't really know what it is, but you can figure it out yourself by dividing it by 1.6. That's I think almost 250 miles an hour, if I'm not mistaken. The Simon Allen now has an interest to move into the top 5 on the run up to Indianapolis in the middle of the night. Actually, we can see a bit of the sunrise already. This is really Le Mans for you. It's really that feeling of going flat out into the forest at in the early morning. That's really what describes Le Mans in its best. It's really a magic race, and someone has that's Phil. Phil has outbraked himself at Arnage and moves down to 6th actually. Simon Allen now up to 5th again. Let's see how much time before his next incident. We're keeping an eye, and the betting market is saying, let me check. There is 11 to 9 that there's going to be another incident, and even on that incident being in the next minute. So clearly the market is not showing much confidence in Simon Allen's ability not to be quick, because we all know he can be quick, but to keep it one piece on the 24 minutes of Le Mans. Here's Michael Langley. We haven't seen too much of Michael. Not the strongest performance we've seen from him. He's not much ease with these Group C cars. Of course, he has been incredibly competitive in GT3 at Nordschleife, where he won one of the races. And generally speaking, he has run on the top 5, as they know. People start to have their breakfasts, their whatever the French have for breakfasts, and start thinking about opening the first bottle of wine, as we have maybe reached 7 or 8 in the morning here at Le Mans. Everyone is still a bit hangover from last night's party. People are starting to get out of their tents and coming to see what's happening in the old folks racing. Well, it turns out that Craig Lloyd is leading still, 12 seconds now. So I think he's got this one sorted, unless he makes a huge mistake. Darren Head in second. The Twixter, Chris Russell, the pole position man, has not given up on second, but he hasn't really gained a lot of time. Well, he's gained a bit of time now, actually. He's started to make a closer visual contact with Darren Head, so maybe the battle for second is not over yet. We still have a few hours or minutes to go, and Chris still thinking about that second place, having had an horrendous first lap where he lost several places. Is now definitely chasing second again, as we are now into the proper morning. So everyone can start thinking about now switching off their headlights. Let's see who will be the pioneers there in doing so. Let's go through the field. Kev Allen and Simon Allen 4th and 5th. Phil is relatively stable in 6th. Scott Davely was 4th at one point, but he has lost time through the night. Frankie, nice job there in 8th. Stuart Brand, Michael Langley completing the top 10, as Barry Evans has lost a lot of time. He's more than a minute down on Michael, so he's probably going to be our non-points finisher today here at Le Mans, as we now see Chris Russell properly on the tail of Darren Head now into Indianapolis. And maybe he's thinking about making a move. Can he make a move into Indianapolis? The answer is no, he can't. Not this lap yet, as they go now to Indianapolis. And I think Chris has the better package, the better pace. Let's see if he can make a move into Arnash. He cannot. He was almost hitting Darren, but managed to do this incredibly clumsy overtake, but also quite crucially managed to not outbrake himself and actually do the corner. So that's a good job there. As we are now into the Porsche curves, and this is not the Porsche curves, this is Mulsanne, and Michael Langley has taken the long way around. Nice use of the reset button. He has, however, lost a position to actually that was Stuart Brand, not Michael Langley. I'm sorry. The cars have all the same livery, and I'm a few glasses of red wine down, very good French wine, in celebration of this great race. So I couldn't figure out who that was, but I think it was Stuart Brand now in 10th, and Michael Langley, even if he doesn't like this package, is still getting a couple of championship points to add to his tally. Kev Allen is in 4th, and he's now chasing Darren Head. Kev has been doing a nice job in the background, gaining. Here is the onboard with Kev Allen in this Jaguar Group C. Great era of endurance racing, this Group C era. Very, very interesting car, the Jaguar. Of course, the Sauber Mercedes is another one. And of course, the Porsche, 962 is it? I can't really remember what Porsche it is, but the very, very famous Porsche that took a lot of victories in Le Mans. Now, Kev Allen, can he do it? He can't. He can't pass Darren Head, but Darren now fighting for his life for a podium. Nice job there by Kev in the 4th chicane. He almost made a move into the start-finish line, but not quite. Now breaking for the Dunlop chicane here. And clearly Kev is sooner or later going to... No! Sooner or later he's going to spin, and does he use the reset button? He does. but he's now a sitting duck, and Simon Allen miraculously is in 4th place and actually in front of Kev, which is interesting, at least getting some points back for the championship. Let's see, can he get the podium? I don't think so, because they are now 4 seconds behind Darren Head. I believe this race must be 7 laps, otherwise it would have finished by now, because we are already on the 7th lap. Let's see what's happening in the rest of the field. Here's Michael Langley, that number 1. He is now on the tail of Frankie, so Michael doing a good job here at the latter stages of the race, recovering some more points. He's already on 2 points and now thinking about doubling that performance by attacking Frankie. Frankie doing a nice job there, maintaining pace, and he has stopped. No, was this team order? Looked almost like team orders, or this has happened already with Chris Russell on the first lap. I don't know why these cars have slowed down so drastically. I mean, it almost looks as if they saw a red light or an old lady crossing the street, but almost as if it looked like team orders, but I'm sure they're not team orders in Old Folks Racing PS4. They're not teams to start with, so we certainly cannot have team orders without the team. So anyway, Michael Langley doing a good job, now moving to 8th, I apologize. Scott Davely here in 7th, still thinking about that 6th place, but Phil seems to have the job done now. We are already on the last lap. No, we are not on lap 7, we are on lap 6, and it's really 6 laps. I should have seen the top of the screen that says lap 6 out of 6. So clearly that is the length of this race, and Craig Lloyd is in his last few corners before yet another victory. What a great return, and what a great podium this is for Old Folks Racing PS4 with Craig, Chris and Darren. That's really not your usual suspects type of podium, and of course we want that sort of like diversity of performances. We want that in Old Folks Racing. That's what this is about. Really different combos of track and car. Some drivers of course like more open wheelers, some drivers like touring cars, some drivers like GT cars, some drivers like prototype cars. Craig Lloyd likes everything. He has won pretty much in any of those categories, in every type of circuit. He would certainly be a championship contender if he was a full-time participant in this Old Folks Racing PS4. As they know, no formation finish here at Le Mans, because it's not about the team, it's about the individual. And Craig Lloyd has won again in Old Folks Racing PS4 as he crosses the line, more than 11 seconds ahead of an excellent Chris Russell. Chris, first ever pole position and 2nd place, first podium in Old Folks Racing PS4. Well done to Chris. The headster Darren Head is finished 3rd. Nice performance. 4th is Simon Allen, recovering from various incidents. Nicely done. Kev Allen in 5th. A bit of damage limitation there. Phil is run a bit wide in the first chicane, but he manages to secure 6th place with Scott Davely in 7th. Michael Langley is going to cross the line in 8th. Here he is in the 4th chicane. Not far behind is Frankie, still with his headlights on. And actually Frankie is attacking Michael in the last corner. Can we do a side-by-side finish? Not quite, but it was very close indeed. Very close indeed. Stuart Brand picks up the last point today in race 1. Which I believe is round 47 of this championship. It's almost time to finish it off, isn't it? But yet another victory for Craig Lloyd, followed by Chris Russell and Darren Head. Nice race, pretty well behaved. Old Folks here. Let's see what the second race gives us. Oh, Barry Evans decides to run. Wow, what a spectacular finish for Barry as well. Yeah, there before Arnage losing the front of his car. Not a very good finish for Barry. Unfortunately, he's going to finish in 11th place and last, which next year of course will give him points. Next year it will be the year that we expect also the field to grow even further, maybe up to 16 in some races, and of course it will all be about consistency of performance. So even if you have a bad day, you just take the points, go home and be better next time. So certainly Barry, he has done better classifications in previous races, I'm sure that we will see him in the top 10 very, very soon. It's 11 today here at Le Mans. This is a difficult beast to tame, this Group C Jaguar, and it's not easy for the old folks to deal with it in 6 exhausting laps of Le Mans. That's almost half a stint of the actual race. Here comes the take the checkered flag. He's still on the lead lap, albeit a minute or so down. That's confirmation of your result there of the top 10. We cannot wait for race 2. Join us very, very soon here at Old Fox Racing PS4. Thank you very much.